last time we spoke, I shared some very encouraging information about the overall performance of the students in this district. Now, when we looked a bit deeper, you had some questions about the student performance. Now, we want to go back and look at some of those gaps and create some concrete goals to improve instruction as well as the students' performance. One of the primary learning gaps that we identified was that between comprehension and fluency. Some students were able to read quickly but not comprehend what they read, and some vice versa. Another gap that we identified was between student performance on the assessment in class versus the state assessment. And finally, we identified the discrepancy between the levels of growth in the various groups. And we also discussed that we're working with a very limited amount of data for this particular exercise. But in the discussion, we also came up with some instructional gaps that we can look at. One that was mentioned was the idea of providing more opportunity for read-alouds to improve that fluency. We also identified the need to build in activities that will build comprehension without losing that fluency. Another very important instructional gap that needs to be addressed is the assessment that's being used. We understand that these goals are preliminary and they're subject to change as we get more information. Our first SMART goal is that at least 60% of students scoring in the lower two bands will improve their fluency rates by 10% by the end of the first quarter. A second SMART goal is that all students will participate in read-aloud activities at least 3 times during the semester. And finally, we want to ensure that at least 20% of the students in the lower 3 bands will transition to a higher band by the end of the school year. So we've done some fabulous work up to this point. Next time we meet, we're going to be looking at the next stages of the data action model.
That's all, folks.